welcome to my channel, Earth Mama. My name is Xavier, and this is my first official video. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. If you noticed the title, it says, "You're so sensitive, life as a highly sensitive person." So that is what I consider myself to be, and that's really how I wanted to start this channel off. As my intro, because that's who I am and that's how I identify, but I kind of don't let the that identification define me fully. So I have been procrastinating about starting this channel for, I would say, about 2 years. I first didn't really know where I wanted to start, but I watch YouTube a lot, so people just kind of talk about what they like and who they are and how they navigate the world and what they do. And I thought that was very interesting. And I was like, well, what's interesting about me? But my personality and I guess how I navigate the world is what's interesting about me. So I figured out that I was a highly sensitive person maybe about a year ago, maybe a year or two. But it was confirmed to me when I started therapy at the beginning of this year. And I'm very grateful that I, I am not looked at as a crazy person to my therapist. My therapist is super helpful to me. So how that session kind of went was I was kind of explaining like my trauma and things. And she was like, you internalize a lot of stuff. And she started asking me a series of questions. Turns out these were questions from an HSP test, which is a highly sensitive person test, to kind of see if you are, a highly sensitive person. So she was like, you scored pretty high. And the crying, the feeling overly sensitive about things, the emotional responses that I have about a lot of things, she kind of validated me in that, my mind kind of works a little bit differently as far as like sensory and being overstimulated. And so, yeah, I was kind of confirmed in my thinking for a few years. When I kind of thought I was a highly sensitive person, I was browsing on Twitter. Twitter is my favorite app because it's so funny. And a woman by the name of Miriam Hasnea, she was speaking about it or tweeting about it, and I was just kind of like, wow, this sounds like me. I'm really resonating with everything she's saying. And I kind of did a little bit of research, and then I was like, nah, this isn't me. I'm strong. I can overcome anything. I'm not a weak, I ain't weak. So I kind of let it go. I started nursing school around that time, and it was a lot, man. Nursing school was overstimulating, right? So when I started, and it's very hard being a highly sensitive person when your family has a lot of expectations about you and for you. When I was a kid, I'm not athletic, so obviously I took the academic route, and my family just had and has high hopes for me career-wise. And so that emotional, internalizing, I don't want to let them down, and I don't want to feel like a failure in that sense. And so I did nursing school. My mother is a nurse, by the way, and I got in. It started, I was doing okay with everything, but it all just started to be a little too much once the clinicals were involved, because we had tests, pharmacology, regular lectures, and then we had to be at the hospital at like the crack of dawn every single day. And so being a highly sensitive person, which wasn't really confirmed at the time, I was overstimulated, overwhelmed. And I do have a habit of being overwhelmed by, too many things to do, having to be in too many places. Like, I just feel like my life I'm destined to be a person who is at ease with a lot of things and unfortunately, the world we live in, capitalism, individualism, people don't really care. They want you to produce. They want you to produce at work, at school, at life. And sometimes I just think it's necessary for some downtime. But wow, it's very hard to do in a world like this, honestly. So yeah, nursing school. But like another thing that I had a habit of was jobs. And so like I'm in nursing school, but I have to work. Or, I'm in whatever program, but I have to work. I would find that I couldn't do most of the work. I would, again, like going into corporate offices, which I will say this, working from home during COVID, oh my God, how could you want to stop that? Because like the ease of it, and like it's just a release of pressure for a lot of people. I've talked to so many people about it. Working from home has been a blessing. And I really, that is one of the things, besides like less traffic and, all the early stages of COVID, the distancing. As a highly sensitive person, it was actually not a bad time. It wasn't a bad time not having to be really super close to people all the time. Because as a highly sensitive person, I don't like things like clubs, and I thought that made me weird. I have friends who are very social. I don't know how that worked, but my friends are super social and they love going to clubs, okay? They like breaking it down on the dance floor. And because I'm so supportive as a person, I would go, but it just was not my scene. And I was just wondering, like, why is this not my scene? It's because I'm a highly sensitive person. I don't really like all the lights, all the people in super close proximity to me. This is even before COVID. Just the overwhelming sense of like, I don't have space. But I do like music and having a good time in more like chill situations, So yeah, like jobs, back to the jobs. I had a habit of not really liking office jobs that were like, it was mostly because of the culture, like the people expected me as a Black woman. And this is true for people who aren't highly sensitive people. People expect Black women and Black people to kind of be the life of the party in the office. And that's not me, I wanted to come do my work and leave. Yeah. I wanted to go home and, that work-life balance. If you have to work, I think the balance should be, far more time with the home life part, because we spend so much time at these offices and at these places of business. And like, what do we really want? What do we really need in life to keep us going, to keep our mental health and our physical health going strong? And so I was not trying to be the life of the party in the office. And I found that I was always the youngest in the office, as well as being like one of 5 or one of 4, the damn minority is what I was. I was the minority in all of my jobs. And that can be a little bit difficult when I already have trouble relating because of who I am emotionally, internalizing and feeling every damn thing in the world. Now I have to put on this face like I'm here to entertain, which I'm not. I wasn't hired to do that. But once you get in the job, it's always very different from your interview, I swear, But I'm just like, they have to kind of hype themselves up in the interview just to kind of get you in the door so you can see. But yeah, my experience with jobs has not been the greatest. And that in itself kind of has the tendency to make you feel like a failure, make you feel inadequate. Like, what is wrong with me? Why am I not like really resonating or feeling any of these jobs? But now, as I'm understanding myself, I think the spaces that I need to be in are the spaces that I enjoy. So like, I just got accepted into a massage therapy program that I am very excited for, because I like getting massages. I like caring for myself. I like putting back into myself. My body is like what I have while I'm here. This is me. And I want to take care of it. And I want to feel lively. That's the word I could think of. I want to feel alive. And if I like that feeling and I resonate with that form of therapy, that form of body work, that is something that I want to be doing for other people. I think it's very hard when you are working in an environment that goes against your nature. And as a highly sensitive person, I'm realizing that I don't want to do that. I don't want to go against my nature anymore. So I think it's important to pursue things that don't tire you out. That, you know, when you get home, you have the energy to like do other things because your day was not that bad. It was a pretty good damn day. You didn't have to deal with people, you know, kind of fucking up your equilibrium. So that is one of the past experiences or indicators I had that I was a highly sensitive person. And, you know, I just kind of ignored it because it's easier to say like, nah, I can overcome this, or I won't be defined by this. But just because that's who I am doesn't make me any less, doesn't make me weaker. And if you're watching this, it doesn't make you any weaker if you're a highly sensitive person. As a matter of fact, I think it makes you all the better. But I think I have learned too not to take in everybody's emotions and their pain, and even taking in other people's like wins. When you're not at a place in your life, it can make you feel away. It's very easy to feel away when you are this type of person. So regulating my emotions has been something I have had to work on. I've experienced a lot of trauma. Everybody has, but I think when you bottle your trauma up for so many years, and you're this type of person, it can be so overwhelming when it's finally released, and you have to learn how to regulate it, and stay in your body as much as possible, and not let other people's emotions overtake you is very important. And I just wanted to talk about, like, in these jobs when I would be tired and just over the jobs, I'm ready to quit, having conversations with people who are not like me. It was odd because they didn't understand. And so when no one really understands, it's very hard to want to be an open book, want to express yourself. And so this right here, this YouTube channel is going to be my way, and my form of my expression, my art, my singing. I want to do a little bit of poetry on this channel. I do have a podcast that I do poetry on. I'm going to put the link below. I'm going to put the link for the highly sensitive person test below as well. So you could take that test. If any of these things sound like you, sensory overload, being overwhelmed often, needing a lot of alone time or naps, yeah, you may be, and it's okay. So I'm going to put that test below. I have procrastinated this channel for so long. So I am excited to post content, post videos. Besides being a highly sensitive person, I do want to like discuss my lock journey. As you can see, I have locks. I actually started my lock journey in January, and I am feeling so liberated. Last year, I always kind of write down a word at the end of the year that I want to focus on for the next year. And my word for 2022 was liberation. And liberation is the best kind of freedom, I think. And my hair has been one of those things over the years. As a Black woman, your hair, your crown, whoo child. But I kind of decided years ago that I didn't want to do perms, so I was a loose natural. And then this year I decided I wanted locks, and it has been one of the best decisions I've made in a long time. And I do want to discuss that more on this channel. I want to discuss mental health, being an advocate for others. Kindness and compassion is what I want to bring because this world is mean. It's very individualistic, and community is important. Health, wealth, health of the mind, health of the body. Because I think when you're truly stress-free, or as least stress as possible, your body will thrive. And so those are the things that I want to talk about on Earth Mama, my channel, my second channel, because I do have another channel where I post my music. I love art of all kinds. So if you have a poem or anything you would like me to read, please email me. I'll put my email down. Please email me or put it in the comments. I don't mind. And I hope you like this video. I hope you subscribe, and I hope you come back to see what else I have to say. Thank you so much. So I know I officially ended the video, but I have to come back and do a PSA. And I think I'm going to do this at the end of all my videos. But this PSA is regarding therapy. Therapy was something that I didn't know I was capable of doing because I don't like really opening up to people a lot. But therapy has been one of the best things for me in 2022, besides my locks. I found a therapist that looks like me, and that was important to me. I found a therapist who has a similar background as far as family. That is important to me. With understanding, therapy is about having that person unbiased to speak to regarding your feelings, your emotions, your traumas. And I advocate highly for therapy. Anybody out there who is kind of in limbo about whether or not you should do therapy or seek any help or talk to someone, I'm here to say you definitely should. And it is a beautiful experience that I 100% vouch for. That's it. That's my PSA.